Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the complex and, let's be real, sometimes incredibly stressful world of fire risk assessments and compliance for London HMOs and block managers. If you manage properties, well, you already know that keeping everything safe, legal, and fully documented is a massive task. So, we're going to break it all down for you right now. Right off the bat, I gotta ask you, are your landlord certificates truly in order? And I don't mean just roughly sorted. Are they actually current, completely accurate, and ready to send the exact second a letting agent, a local authority, or an insurer asks for them? Or let's be completely honest here, are they just buried somewhere in an old email inbox, kind of assumed to be valid just because someone checked the property a few years back? We really need to contrast the two ways of handling this. On one hand, you have that incredibly stressful scramble of piecing together scattered PDFs at the very last minute. That's what we call reactive compliance. Now compare that to the calm certainty of planned compliance. Treating your certificates as a planned, predictable part of your property management strategy, it's a total game changer. It means you aren't frantically hunting for documents when a tenant is literally waiting at the front door.
Okay, so here's our mental map for today's explainer. We're going to cover the compliance fragmentation problem, mapping your property needs, the unified booking route, the four-step process, common compliance mistakes, and finally, planned compliance benefits. Let's get into it. Starting off with Section 1, the compliance fragmentation problem. It really is a stressful mess. Let's quickly look at why property compliance so often devolves into total chaos for so many landlords. So, landlords frequently underestimate the absolute legal weight of the regulatory reform fire safety order. Fire safety might look simple enough on the surface, but then out of nowhere, a council officer or a licensing team demands written assessments. They want to see competent, documented reviews of hazards, fire doors, escape routes, emergency lighting, and action plans. If you've got one contractor for gas, another guy for electrics, and a third completely different company for fire safety, well, your compliance is dangerously fragmented.
Moving to Section 2, mapping your property needs. It's time to clarify your exact action plan.
You can actually simplify this whole process by answering three simple questions. Number one, what is the property type? Is it an HMO, a standard family house, or a block with communal areas? Number two, what are the internal systems? Like, do you have gas, fixed electrical installations, or a central fire alarm system? And number three, what's the trigger? Are you starting a brand new tenancy, dealing with a council request, or prepping for licensing? Nailing these down cuts right through all that confusion. And please remember this absolutely crucial point. A certificate is way more than just a PDF. It is proof. Your goal isn't just to gather digital files to tick an admin box. No, your goal is to secure concrete evidence that a qualified person actually assessed the relevant systems in your property. It's proof that you took your safety responsibilities seriously and took action before a minor problem morphed into a major enforcement issue. Let's hit Section 3. The unified booking route. It is time to stop the endless supplier bouncing. Landlords looking to reduce all this uncertainty really need a single point of contact. That's exactly where Landlord Property Certificates comes in. They bring all these critical, highly specific services like fire risk assessments, HMO fire safety reviews, block communal area inspections, written action plans, and emergency bookings under one reliable roof. This is huge because it means you don't have to bounce between completely unrelated suppliers while a tenancy is being delayed. It's the whole shebang, right in one place. All right, Section 4, the four-step process. This is your straightforward, no-nonsense path to compliance. Let's look at how this builds a completely reliable system. This perfectly structured four-step process turns scattered questions and all that compliance anxiety into a solid working appointment. Step 1. You make contact with your full property details, access info, and deadlines. Step 2, you confirm the quote and they match the right assessor to your specific property. Step 3, the actual inspection happens, where a professional checks the systems and flags any defects. And finally, Step 4, you receive your highly usable paperwork and action plan. Boom, done. Completing these 4 steps ensures you actually fulfill what the law calls your responsible person duties. You get a risk-prioritized action plan from a competent expert. This keeps you fully compliant and completely avoids that absolute nightmare of repeated, uncoordinated contractor visits and totally unclear, useless documentation. On to Section 5, common compliance mistakes. You absolutely need to avoid these pitfalls. Because even with a clear path, there are definitely dragons on this journey. Waiting until the tenant is literally ready to move in is a classic error.
So is assuming an old certificate is still valid without checking the date, or, ignoring changes you've made to the property layout. But honestly, the most dangerous mistake is number 4, treating an unsatisfactory report as just an admin hurdle. Guys, a bad report isn't a failed piece of paper. It's a vital safety action plan that demands immediate attention. Oh, and please stop saving these critical documents in scattered, random email threads.
Always keep this in mind. The easiest compliance problem to solve is the one you handle before the deadline. This powerfully highlights why getting proactive HMO licensing support and scheduling an annual review is infinitely better than scrambling at the last second. Managing a property professionally means you do not wait for a formal complaint to discover what's missing. Finally, Section 6, Planned Compliance Benefits. Let's talk about transforming your management experience. When you use a unified service like Landlord Property Certificates, you drastically reduce your administrative burden. Why? Because multiple services sit right under one brand. You secure much stronger legal evidence, ensuring consistency across your entire portfolio and giving cleaner files to your letting agents. Plus, you guarantee tenant confidence because they know the property has been checked properly, and you have absolute readiness for any insurance or licensing reviews. It's a massive win-win. So, I'll leave you with this provocative thought to chew on regarding your own properties. Will you wait for a stressful enforcement issue to finally discover what safety documentation you're missing? I highly recommend adopting a unified strategy today. Get your records up to date before the deadline becomes an emergency, so you're always safe, always documented, and always ready to leave. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this breakdown helps you master your property compliance.